where the real problem that's coming is the asteroid the debris field that the Earth is actually now starting to move through. He said we're already beginning to go through this debris field that's a part of this system. And he said there again, he said even 2023 is what we're looking at that's coming. He said that's still a bit aggressive on the date as far as I'm aware of. He said, but I will tell you this. He said, if people have not made preparations already, he said, there's not much hope for them at all. I can tell you now, there will be an internal disclosure 2 weeks before the impact of the big asteroids that will hit the Earth. And he said, and that will put those people that are already in the know, they will be going underground. And he said, as far as public disclosure, you will be given 1 to 2 days only. And he said, I can tell you, Steve, he said survival rate will be very, very low.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, especially if there's impacts in the ocean. Ground impacts are devastating, but water impacts is what causes the most death and destruction. And I agree. And when I was being asked to go to Prague and accept the Prague Peace Prize, the sponsor of the Prague Peace Prize asked me a similar question, Steve. She said, John, if you were president and you knew this was coming, would you warn people? So that caused me to think, and so I told her what I had pondered on that, how initially, 19 years ago, I was very upset when I found out this was real and the government was not going to warn people. But that was 19 years ago. I've since come to the conclusion, Steve, that warning people in advance will cause people who are going to die anyway to suffer and die earlier than they would anyway, as opposed to holding out to the last minute, letting these people marry, have children, go to work, have a life, instead of dying and being miserable 8 or 10 years or 19 years sooner than they would anyway. So it's a tough place to be, this whole warning situation. And at this point in time, I would do the same thing that our government's doing and not warn people. The safe havens where people could be safe does not have shelter and food and potable water for 300 million people. That place does not exist, and it's not going to exist. So what's the point of warning people when all it's going to do is cause premature disruption, misery, and death? That's all it would do, unfortunately.
So I hear that, and that's a lot to ponder in itself, but that reminds me of this Area 51 call. I want you guys to think about what that man just said and listen to this and think about what this guy might be talking about. Is it the same event?
Line, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello, Art?
Yes.
Hi. I don't have a whole lot of time.
Well, look, let's begin by finding out whether you're using this line properly or not.
Area 51.
Yeah, that's right. Were you an employee or are you now?
A former employee.
Former employee.
I was let go on a medical discharge about a week ago, and I've kind of been running across the country. Oh man, I don't know where to start. They're gonna they'll triangulate on this position really, really soon.
So you can't spend a lot of time on the phone. So give us something quick.
Okay. Okay, what we're thinking of as aliens are they're extra-dimensional beings that an earlier precursor of the space program made contact with. They are not what they claim to be. They have infiltrated a lot of aspects of the military establishment, particularly the Area 51. The disasters that are coming, the military, the government knows about them, and there's a lot of safe areas in this world that they could begin moving the population to now, Art.
But But they're not doing anything.
They are not. They want the major population centers wiped out so that the few that are left will be more easily controllable.